Hello everyone, we're back again. How you doing? I'm showing off a little bit of the behind the scenes again, primarily just because I've not done this in a while. Drives me a little bit crazy sometimes, primarily because of animating certain bits, but I thought I'd show it off today just to give you a little bit more of a behind the scenes look on how things are going. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be finishing off Papyrus's facial expression and everything else. I've already got most of his stuff done, his lip syncing, his body motion. So yeah, it's literally just his eyebrows and stuff now to give it a little bit more polish. So we're going to be jumping right in. So we're up to here at the moment. This is the, in particular, this is the Snowdin word search puzzle. We're just up to that. I'll show you what I've got at the moment. This is going to be all the audio in the background that by Plotline Plus that's placeholder. But yeah, here we go.
Showman, I hope you're ready for... Sans, where is the puzzle?
It's right there, on the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
Sans, they didn't even look at it!
Whoops. I knew I should have used today's crossword instead.
What? Crossword? I can't believe you just said that! In my opinion, Junior Jumble is easily the hardest.
What? Really, dude? That easy peasy word scramble? That's for baby bones.
Unbelievable. Showman, solve this dispute. Haha, yes! Humans must be very intelligent if they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult.
Okay, so that's all I've got so far. It's not all done because I obviously still am working on the facial expressions during this stream. I'm just going to open another YouTube tab just in case YouTube has messed up the stream again. Nope. So I can see chat. There we go. But yeah, hey Classic! So what I'm doing is I will be finishing this off today on stream. I'm just going to match this to the actual game itself, so you might hear me going back to the audio a little bit.
Sans, where is the puzzle?
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm matching up the sprite work with Papyrus. I'm hoping the audio is alright, by the way, Classic. Matching the sprite work to Papyrus's facial expressions outside of points where I have a little bit of artistic interpretation, and that being like when he does his sort of shocked pose. In a moment, we'll go through it now.
I hope you're ready for...
Like that, oh, thank you very much, Classic. No, I know it's alright, because I know Damon said previously on one of the other streams that there was a issue with audio. But yeah, this is not accurate to the sprite work, only because you don't get a facial expression for Papyrus like that in this part. So what I'm doing is I'll be doing that as an in-between, and then he'll go back to his normal one in a moment, so we got to get him. It'll be about there he's going to change. So we want his facial expression here to go back and match what is on the sprite work as much as possible. That includes messing around with all of these keyframes for his eyes and everything, and his eyebrows, just so that we can make everything look super accurate. Because if it's not accurate, then you know it's just not good. Some of the fans will be upset, you know, so it's best doing the best that we can. Especially because I really appreciate the source material. So about here, we have to have straight faces more like this a little bit. This keyframe for his face going back up here, looking a little bit happy. Then we've got the angry eyes, which I need to change here. Where is it? I need to change his eyebrows. The not amused eyes are pretty funny. So we'll change those. Actually, no, I think I can... The frustrated ones I'm not too sure about. Super angry eyes, let's check that one. No. Okay, so we'll do... I need to change his blink. So, where is it? There we go. Bring his blink back. Okay, now we just need to change his eyebrows back to the angry set. So we'll do... Oh, where is it? Classic says, I get that with audio sometimes on streams, but it's good. Plus, yeah, motion keys are important for fans. It's the whole thing of just, if I don't get it accurate, somebody will, I've joked about this before, somebody will gut me like a fish. You know, because guaranteed the Undertale community is basically kind of like the Sonic community. They are very, very attentive when it comes to details and things. And if it's not accurate, then it's not good. So it needs to be as accurate as possible. Makes them sound like they're a group of thugs, but they're really not. Oh, here we go. Let's try Angry Eyes there. Ah, yep, that matches. That matches, and then I can... There we go. I recently started conversations a little bit with some of the actual people that are in the Undertale community just to see about how accurate this was, and a lot of them were actually surprised at how good it is and were really liking it so far. So if I can keep that up and keep them pleased, then I'll at least be happy, because it gives me a baseline of, you know, what to go off when I'm trying to work towards people's expectations.
It's right there.
Let's see.
Sans, where is the puzzle?
On the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
Okay, so I need that facial expression again later on, so we'll grab that. We'll grab this keyframe here, because I need it, and we'll just go
Where is the puzzle?
about here. What we'll do is we'll paste it there, so we've got it again, and then we'll slowly bring the angry eyes down a little bit. And possibly the not amused ones as well. We'll just kind of do this, and then we'll bring the blink back a little bit, because he's just kind of sat here waiting, so it's a little bit accurate to the events that are going on at the moment. Actually, let's do a little bit of angry. Make him look like we're getting into the good shiz, says Rents. Hey, Rents! How you doing? How are you doing? Not seen you in a while.
Where is the puzzle?
It's right there.
Needs to be above here again.
It's right there. On the ground. Trust me.
I gotta give him a little bit more emotion. Might get it on my 00 Riser video today, because I called it Wing Zero. Oh, dude. Gundam, man. If you get anything wrong with the Gundam community, they'll correct you straight away, but you just gotta be nice about that, you know, and kind of accept it and be like, look, I'm sorry. I did not deliberately do this, you know. So funny.
Right there.
I love this bit. I keep mentioning this at the moment, because the best part for me, and I've mentioned this a couple of times in different videos, is the simple fact of I absolutely love watching all of this come together, because, you know, I slave away over this stuff for like hours on end a day, and then do other stuff at the same time, so I'm always working on it or thinking about it. But it's nice getting all the motions done and then slowly seeing it all come together with like facial expressions and stuff, and then when you watch it back all the way through, it really makes me smile. It's so good. Right, so here he's gonna have less angry eyes, and we'll open his eyes a little bit. The idea is Sans is telling him that he's got the puzzle, so instead of being so angry at him, he's gonna be a little bit kind of like, oh, okay. So we got
there, on the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
And then here, this is I love that head tilt. I added that in very late. Or rather, the head positioning. Been good, doing a lot of stuff that's exhausting, says Rents. Preoccupied. Dude, I know that feeling. Either way, it's nice to see you back again.
The ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
Now what we gotta do is, we gotta make Papyrus look really happy here. The idea is...
And they didn't even look at it!
I'm playing that audio, if you can hear that in a Windows Movie Maker or Media Player window to just get reference for the sprite work. But the idea is here, Sans is telling him that the puzzle's there, so he's going to get excited now, going, oh god, we're going to catch the player. And of course, that means he's going to look a little bit happier instead of frustrated. So we got this. And then we got to go... Got to take that from about there. Take it to about there. And then what we're going to do is we'll take the blink off at this point. And we'll do the happy eyes. Happy eyes are always fun with Papyrus. So we'll give him the really happy eyes. He's like, yeah, this is going to be great. I might actually... If I give him the... No. If I give him the blink, it might be a bit too much. We'll lower it a little bit. The straight face is on. So now we just need to change his eyebrows a little bit. We've got the not amused eyes on at the moment that are there. So we'll change those to this, which raises the eyebrows completely and makes him look really happy. I love this. It's going to be so funny. There we go. So now he gets really angry again. So we got this, right? I need him to have those frames there. So we're going to paste that there. And when he goes back here like this, I think his arm might be clipping a little bit there. I'm going to have to look at that because I don't like it. But what I'll do is, for here, I'll change those keyframes back to this one, I think. Love the way his facial expression just completely changed there. What we'll do is we'll have him have the not amused eyes like this, and we'll give him the angry face again. So we got, where's it? Angry eyes. And then we've got, where's happy eyes? Happy eyes are gone. Blink needs to be a little bit like this. And then we lower his brow slightly. If we can, right? So we go. And then we take that keyframe and put it there. Can't wait to see him in the platform. I can't wait to see him in the scene. You know, when this is all said and done. Because it's going to take a while to render off. It always takes a while to render because I'm rendering so many particles in the scene at the same time. One of the major things that's a problem about Snowdin, outside of the particles, is just all of the character interaction. I've mentioned it before, but it takes so long to do Snowdin, primarily just because of trying to get Papyrus's actions to look how you would expect him. You know, it's like, you have this idea in your head of how overly exaggerated Papyrus should be, and then it's a case of then visualizing that, coming up with the pose, reposing everything, then getting the timing down based on his audio. You know, I've said it before, he's like a Looney Tunes character on crack in terms of me exaggerating his animation. And that's the main problem, is just trying to get it to look right, because I feel like if you don't get it to look exactly like that, no, in terms of like over-exaggerated and all crazy, then when somebody comes to expect that from him, it's just not there, and they're gonna get upset, you know.
Sans, they didn't even look at it!
Whoops. I knew I should have used today's crossword instead.
What? Crossword?
I'm just gonna make sure that that's
Whoops.
the right facial expression.
I knew I should have used today's crossword instead.
What? Crossword?
Yeah, it is.
I can't believe you just said that! I can't believe you just said that! In my opinion, Junior
Ah, there we go. He's gonna change his facial expression now. Okay, so when he talks about Junior Jumble, no joke, I had to listen to this the other day for like a good hour or something, just this one line where he was saying, I think Junior Jumble, it's because I was doing, I think I was doing the scarf animation, right? Because I've explained this before. I love doing small details, like, for instance, all of the Dreamers, like, little details, like their ears flopping around and stuff. I even did Nice Cream recently, the Nice Cream guy. I made sure I did his hair and his ears by hand, because a lot of people will say, like, oh, you can do this with physics and everything, but because of how old my computer is, and because I don't know too much about physics sims with Blender and stuff, the stuff that I have messed around with, it doesn't do it accurately enough for me, and it takes a lot of processing power from my computer, which means that it takes longer to render and do tests and stuff, and I can't be doing that all the time. It would take way longer, so instead I animate like the ears and the hair and the scarf all by hand. So I spent like an hour the other day tweaking his scarf to make it look as though it would flow and move around as you would expect. And every single time I was tweaking little bits, you could just hear him talking about Junior Jumble doing the same line for like an hour, and it was just so nuts. By the end of it, I'm just sat there going, Papyrus, please, give me a break. I know Junior Jumble's hard. Just let me finish, you know. It was so funny.
You just said that! In my opinion.
There we go. Here's where his expression's going to change here. So we need his brow to be potentially lowered. Not amused eyes. His angry eyes need to go. He needs to have the suspicious eyes, I think they are. And we need to get rid of the blink, I think. So we got those keyframes there, right? So we go... I think we're at, like, what? 298 to about 215 should be enough time to tween between them. So what we'll do is take the blink off. We'll try and match this facial expression. I always love giving Papyrus the kind of sussy face, because it's funny watching it later on when everything's said and done. So we got sus eyes need to come on now. I love the way those come in. Then we got the angry eyes need to go off. Those are fine. I think frustrated might need to actually come on as well. Not too sure. Or maybe just lower the brows. So then we've got... Yeah, there we go. So if we lower the brow to about there.
Jumble is easily the hardest. Jumble is easily the hardest.
What? What?
Okay, so he's going to have to change his facial expression again here now.
Jumble is easily the hardest.
What?
About there, he needs to change his facial expression back to his standard one, or at least something that's not really amused because of Sans. Because Sans is about to turn around and smack talk Junior Jumble. So we've got... I wouldn't say give him the happy eyes here, so we'll do this.
Dude.
Goes about 10 there, and we'll then take this, and we'll do sus eyes off for the moment. Raise the eyebrows again. Where are they at? There we go. And actually, what we'll do is we'll give him a bit of a blink here. We'll give him the kind of, are you serious face? Let's do... We'll actually keep his brow slightly lowered. I feel like after Sans says what, there should be a quick cut of the player reacting the same way with a blank face. The funny thing is, I've already got shots like that, which are really actually kind of funny and add to it. One example is, at the beginning of the electricity maze, where Papyrus says, you know, go ahead, come towards me, after he's given he's walked the maze and given the player the orb. The player literally kind of breaks the fourth wall for a moment, looks at the screen, shrugs, and then walks, which causes him to get electrocuted. I got so many instances like that I think Jen helped with, because I was like, I'm not so sure what I should add here, and Jen's just like, maybe you should do this, because it would be funny. It's like later on, we have Sans as well, when Papyrus runs off after that, or walks off. Actually, no, if I remember rightly, Papyrus sort of like slides off screen. We have Sans look at where he's gone, then looks back at the player, and then shrugs as well. So it's that whole thing of trying to get the body motion just right and doing silly things like that, because it kind of adds to it. So good. I can't wait to actually go through and do like the entire Snowdin sort of behind the scenes once I'm done with it, you know, once we get to the town, because then I'll be really happy to put out like the entire behind the scenes for all of Snowdin Road up until Snowdin Town, and then Snowdin Town's more or less its own separate part of the animation with the fight in it, which I'm still trying to come up with. I think I've got a better grasp of it at the moment. The easiest way to describe it is it's basically like if you've ever seen the game show Wipeout, the idea is a lot of the fans on the Undertale Discord that I'm on, the one that's ran by Dorked, the person that writes Inverted Fate and does a load of character analysis videos for Undertale. I went in there and asked them about it, and they seem to think that you should have it as kind of like the player trying to get past Papyrus without fighting, especially because it's the pacifist run. And it ends up basically being like Wipeout, where Papyrus has a load of these attacks where they look a little bit like the Bones 3's got a kind of wacky, cartoony, almost like Looney Tunes style. So yeah, it's going to be amusing. This is the best. I can't wait to see it when it's finished as Rent. Honestly, I can't wait to get it done. The only problem I'm having at the moment is, apart from it being a slow process, I'm obviously worried that the only thing stopping me is the voice acting. I need to get voice actors for this. Don't know where I'm going to do that. I need to really start reaching out to people, but I'm just really nervous about doing that. I feel like maybe I should have more stuff done first before I approach those people. Plus, obviously, money's a concern because I really don't have that. So finding the best people for the job to try and do this is going to be awkward. Because ultimately, if it was down to me, I'd just go to the same people that did the cinematic dub. Because I think they're perfect for the job. You know, but there are a couple of other people that I'd go to as well that I'm thinking of off the top of my head right now. But it's a case of, it's a slow process. I can't wait for it to be done. And the concern at the moment is going back to the ruins and doing some of the ruins animation, just speeding it up a little. And then re-rendering that. Because I'm looking back and certain parts of my animation, obviously because I'm getting better at this over time, some of the animation from the ruins doesn't look as polished as the later stuff because it's a little bit slower because I didn't follow the same rules that I'm doing now. The rules that I'm doing now is I follow the animation with the audio scrubbing in the background so I can get the timing just right. Before this, it was taking me forever to do even just one area because I was essentially... I was doing this crazy thing of trying to anticipate how long it would take somebody to read the line and then taking those amount of seconds, like I would do the line myself, time myself doing the line, and then say, okay, for this section I've got like so many seconds before I need to tweak it to the next section, and it meant that certain areas were a little bit slower and the animation looks a little bit like it's going in slow-mo. It's really weird and it's really annoying me. It's why I went back and did the entire intro again for Fallen Down, because Flowey didn't have enough of an impact at the beginning and didn't have all of his lines, and now Flowey just looks amazing. So yeah, it's not... Proof says, get some confidence, and ask the guys in Discord. No, it's like, it's not that I don't have confidence about this, Proof. The best thing is, I absolutely love this. This is the best thing I've ever worked on outside of my game stuff, and then obviously me doing testing for various other people and helping them out. This is the best thing I've ever done, because over, like, I'd say the past 15 or so years of me doing 3D on my own and learning all of this, animation was the one thing that I never touched. I was always good at doing, you know, basic modeling, level design. stuff like that, and then sort of hard surface stuff like with robots. Animation is something I never touched on because the previous program I used, 3ds Max, I didn't feel like it was good enough to animate in, or at least it wasn't for me. I felt like it was just a little bit too awkward because everything was in just raw keyframes, and I didn't have the experience rather to animate in that, so it was kind of a lot of floundering around. Whereas with this, I'm more confident about the animation, and everything else that I've done has failed up until this point in some way that's outside of my own control. Like, for instance, I did a mod for Halo ages ago from like 2004 until 2009, where I basically did a load of like Sonic the Hedgehog content in Halo. The reason that failed, because I was literally doing like a large single player and multiplayer expansion, the only reason that failed is because literally the entire team just went and left me. And I was the only person left, and all I could do was level stuff at the time. So everybody that knew how to do like character stuff and importing stuff like that, they all left and left me on my own, so it wasn't my fault. Then I did Dead Space in Unreal Engine 2, so for Killing Floor, the original version of Killing Floor in Unreal 2004. And the whole thing was, I was doing the medical bay from Dead Space and putting that in Killing Floor as a level. I was doing all my own modeling for it and just taking the textures and putting them on, and through that I learned how to become better at modeling and do UV mapping, so all the textures went on accurately, and it looked really good. I got about halfway through that, then the hard drive died with it on it, and because there were no backups, it just took everything out with it, and I was like, oh great. So that failed. Then I did my AC project, and I did the small version of it, which was actually successful, and then I expanded on it, and when I expanded on it, that's when it failed, primarily because, again, I was the only one left doing the project, and then had somebody basically threaten my job, so I just walked away from that one, so it was, again, something outside of my control, really. So every other project has failed, apart from, I think, one in some way, and I'm just like, dude, I need a win here, because over these so many years, I've learned how to do, you know, simple modeling, more complicated texturing, just texturing in general and attaching textures in the right places to models. I've learned a lot of stuff about 3D just on my own. Now I'm up to the point that I didn't touch, which was character animation and just animation in general. And I feel like I'm really confident with this at the moment. It's looking nice. I'm getting everything slowly to come together how I want it to be. The problem is, and the only problem that's left is something, again, that's outside of my control, which is the voice acting. Especially when I want it to be as best as it can, you know, it's just, that's the only scary thing for me. Everything else I'm confident with, you know. Proof. Let's see here.
What? Really, dude?
Okay, so we got that at the moment. Let's do... But yeah, this project, man, I just need a win on it. You know, I'm so confident with this right now. I'm just... The whole thing is, the last project that I worked on, the AC one, I was actually hoping that the community would be behind me on that one. I put a lot of faith in the community, and it was the community that ended up doing me in on it, unfortunately. So it's like, I'm putting all my hope in the Undertale community now in hopes that we can all come together and collectively achieve something really good. The funny thing is, it's like I dropped a sudden realization note on the Discord as well the other day where I was like, you know what? You could technically recreate the battle system for Undertale in proper 3D. Sorry about the police going past in the background there. If you could recreate Undertale's battle system in Unreal Engine 4 or 5, you could literally take all the 3D work that I'm doing now and just make Undertale in full 3D. It'd be absolutely nuts. You know? So it's pretty crazy thinking about it like that.
Easy peasy word scramble. That's for baby bones.
I don't know whether we'll...
That's for baby bones.
Can we control his individual eyebrows? I'm wondering. Dude, have we got... Oh my god, we can! Oh, I didn't even know those controls with that, or rather, maybe I did, but I just didn't think about them. Oh, that's so good. Right, I need that. I need that for raised the... Right? This is gonna be so good. Right, and then we bring that down. And about here, we gotta change everything else. Let's just...
Really, dude? That easy peasy word
Just
scrabble?
checking the...
That's for baby bones.
Just checking the video here. Right, okay, so... The reason why I was checking the video here is because of his sprite face. I need the lowered eyebrows, the frustrated ones, the not amused ones, and I need the... where is it? I need the sauce eyes back. They'll be behind you biting you in the arse as proof. Don't say that. I put a lot of faith in people, you know. It's that whole thing of you imagine that a lot of people working together on one thing will eventually come up with something that's really good. You know. I don't see what's so bad about thinking that. About the... That's when we'll do is the change. Let's see. So, sus eyes there. Blink off. Raised needs to be down there. Lowered brows needs to be there. And then we'll do straight face needs to be changed, I think. Looks like the overlay skins added, sweet and easy to move. Nice as classic. All the stuff here is really easy to use. Nope.
Unbelievable. Human.
Right, now let's see what is.
Unbelievable.
Ah, there we go. Right, he's back to normal when he says human here. It's going to be good when we're done here, because we'll have to do a little bit more. And then Papyrus is done, and then I can work on Sans and the player character. And then this entire scene is done, and then I can render it with particle effects and move on to the next bit, which I think is... Oh, God. Let me just double check in Discord. Because I had the entire thing down in terms of how it worked. Oh, it's the pasta trap. The pasta trap's going to be easy. Then it's the dog couple fight, which is going to be interesting because I've actually got to do a fight sequence. I've got to choreograph that. More puzzles, then the deadly floor trap. The thing is, the deadly floor trap is going to be a lot of talking again. And then after that, it's the snow dog bit, which isn't too bad. The ice field puzzle, which I'm going to have fun with, showing off snow papyrus and snow sands. The greater dog is another fight sequence, and then Gauntlet of Deadly Terror, and then we're at Snowdin Town. So we're close, but there's still a lot of talking to do, which is always crazy, like I said, when you're animating Papyrus, because of how he animates himself. About here, we're going to need to change everything again. So we take the sus eyes off. We're going to need happy eyes on. We're going to need straight face going off. We've already got that. We need not amused eyes gone. Lowered brows off. And then I think we're good. So if I go... Okay, so we do that. We do not amused eyes. So we raised brows. And then we've got... What is it? Sus eyes go off. Straight face up. Because he looks happier. Let's try this. I gotta go, Moody. Got a doctor's appointment. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much again, Classic. Thank you for the super before, by the way.
Solve this dispute.
I'm gonna save this as well, by the way, because goddamn, it's so close to being done. Here we go.
Human, solve this dispute. Haha, yes!
Think. Oh, dude, I've not even got happy eyes on. I can put those on in a sec. And then we can see the entire thing with facial animation.
Yes!
There he is. Oh my god, that's gonna look so good. Does he change any of his facial expressions now?
If they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult.
He doesn't change his facial expression, so we could literally just call it if we wanted to, but I think I might raise one of his eyebrows.
Humans must be very intelligent.
Yeah, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna raise that left eyebrow again. So we'll do 12 frames. Oh, this is gonna be so good. You ready for this, right?
If they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult.
Right, and then I can just drop that again now. That's it. We are done with Papyrus, right? So for anyone that's still around, I don't know who's around, we get to see the full thing now. It's gonna be so good.
Human, I hope you're ready for... Sans, where is the puzzle?
It's right there, on the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
Sans, they didn't even look at it!
Whoops. I knew I should have used today's crossword instead.
What? Crossword? I can't believe you just said that! In my opinion, Junior Jumble is easily the hardest.
What? Really, dude? That easy peasy word scramble? That's for baby bones.
Unbelievable. Human, solve this dispute. Haha, yes! Humans must be very intelligent if they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult. Human!
Dude, just seeing that with all of his facial expressions now is so good. And I still absolutely love the run at the end.
Yes! Humans must be very intelligent if they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult.
So the run, it's better when
Yes!
you see it in full frames.
Humans must be very intelligent if they also find Junior Jumble to be so difficult.
So the run is something I actually have to credit somebody for. I've already got him in the credits, but it's on Google, the long list of credits that I've got at the moment. But it was inspired by an art piece from DA, if I remember rightly, and they just had this pose that looked brilliant for an exaggerated run. So I positioned Papyrus in roughly the same pose, and then just tweaked it for, you know, the full run animation. And it just works so well for when he's running off in places. But oh my god, that looks so good. I love the way it just gives him a little bit of extra character as well in certain areas.
I hope you're ready for...
Oh, it's gonna be fun. The only thing I need to do now is make sure that the settings on the proper file when I import it have the over-exaggerated values for his mouth, so he can do the whole sort of thing going on. Apart from that, it's so good.
Sans, where is the puzzle?
It's right there, on the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one.
He looks so happy there. Dude, it's too good. It's too good. I love this part of animating. It's just so nice. Anyway, that's a little bit of me showing you what the process is like. The little bit less of the, or rather the, yeah, would I say less complicated of the issues that I have to deal with animating, and the one that doesn't completely drive me insane. I hope you've enjoyed, and thank you very much for the company as usual. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, bye!